In this video, I'm going to teach you how to find the dimensions of a rectangular prism when you already know its volume. It's sort of like the reverse of what we were doing in class. Instead of me giving you the dimensions and saying, hey, go ahead and tell me the volume, we're going to do the opposite of that. So right now you're looking at a box of cornflakes, which happens to be my favorite cereal. And I'm going to tell you that the volume, if you were to fill up that box with cornflakes, is about 192 cubic inches. What I want to know, though, is what are the possible dimensions of this box? Now, guys, there are multiple correct answers here. There are several ways that I can get to 192 by multiplying three numbers. What I want to do is take a look at my box and make sure that the numbers I'm choosing make sense. So I notice here that the length looks less than the height. So I'm going to keep that in mind. And I look here and it looks like the width is the shortest dimension on here. So I'm going to keep that in mind. A very small width and a length that's definitely a little bit shorter than the height. So there's two strategies here. The first one is to just work backwards. We know that the volume of a rectangular prism or a box can be found using the length times the width times the height. I know that if I have those three dimensions, they should multiply out to 192 because I told you what the volume was. So guys, I'm just going to go ahead and work backwards. I know that I need to get to a final product of 192. So I'm going to start with the length. I'm just kind of looking here, and to me that looks like it could be about 8 inches in length. So I'm going to say, okay, if I take 192, the total volume, and divide it by 8. I think that might be one of my dimensions. Well, that's going to leave me with 24. That means I have two dimensions left, height and width, that when multiplied have to get to 24. So I took the 24 and then I came over to the width and I said, you know what, this looks like it's about 2 inches to me. So I did 24 divided by 2, which the only dimension left is 12 for the height. And you know, that kind of makes sense because if this is 8, then this needs to be longer than 8, but not by too much. So 12 makes sense. Here, the length is 8, the width is 2, and the height is 12. 8 times 2 times 12 is indeed 196. But remember, guys, I told you there's going to be more than one correct answer here. I could have done 4 times 4 times 12. It would give me the same answer. The only thing is when I look here, 4 by 4 doesn't really make sense because these are definitely not the same length. Okay, so that's the working backwards strategy. The next one, it's just guess and check, guys. If you know that you need 1, 2, 3 numbers that are going to multiply to make 192, you can just guess and check until you figure it out. Your goal is to find 3 numbers that when you multiply them, get you to 192. This method might take a little bit longer, but you'll definitely get there and you'll get more than one correct answer. Don't forget to just think about, does your answer make sense? Is it realistic?